Alright, so, episode 2. Here we go. So, when I last left off, I've basically been exploring around quite a bit. My scouts is basically over here right now. I'll note that basically right now, I carefully want to watch my propulsion tech because, currently I basically have all my, research points basically, going into, this one tech here. I said this is, a bad thing, by the way, in a previous episode, but currently basically it just has, so little progress basically in it. I'm okay with, leaving it here for now just to, get this up a little bit more. But I'm going to, basically want to basically swap this basically, out to, computer tech as well as weapon tech very soon to, start basically, upping these two as well as, not basically have, an instance where, all my research basically is wasted if I get a big boost in propulsion tech from a random event. And other than that, well, I guess we're good to go. So let's just get to it, shall we?
Affirmative.
I'll note for now I'm going to basically move this guy over here to
Affirmative.
keep exploring for me, I guess. Just move him right there, I guess. Alright, well, I think we basically sort of left ourselves off at a good point where everything is is ready to go. So let's go to the next turn. Let's go from there.
Terraforming has been completed.
Transfer some of my two Zetrians over here, so maybe in the future they'll be more friendly to me. Alright, so I want to know something about Heka here. I'm actually trying to show you guys a cute little trick you can basically do if you want to quickly expand your borders and stuff like that with chip branches and such.
Select a planet for terraforming.
We're gonna have these guys basically just terraform.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Just L-class world, the Marshall world here, just a little bit. Just get a couple of points basically out of here. And after that, I just want to show off basically something about colonization and stuff like that as well. Now, it should, by the way, saying the memory, the thing right here, by the way, that terraform points are gonna be wasted basically in a sector, but it's not, so whatever. Alright, so one of these guys are gonna use them to basically terraform, or not terraform, but colonize.
This system will be colonized.
And I'm gonna get the other guy here basically
Select
to
a planet for terraforming.
just take a moment basically to terraform.
Select a planet for terraforming.
This K-class planet for a turn.
We claim this system in the name of the Retharian Star Network.
Alright, so it's basically Heka colonized. And we're just gonna quickly go in here, we'll just get him to do a little bit of primitive factories for a little bit while we basically do our stuff. I actually want to get this guy doing a little bit of titanium over here because titanium is pretty important basically to have around, so why not? Okay, so Borkum has finished his stuff right here. I'll note that Borkum, by the way, it's basically currently got all the basic structures I usually like to have, in these these systems and such. A few basic titanium mines, basically some basic fabricators, some organic factories. At this point, we're just gonna upgrade a Borkum here, I think, a little bit. So let's do that. And I just want to get this done as fast as possible for most parts. So. We'll do it like that for now. I won't watch this guy for his morale because his morale might be affecting how much he's basically building right now, but we'll see what's happening later, basically later on. Alright, so right now I want to note that basically over here in Heka, I basically have colonized two of these planets over here for the system. Now, what I want to basically do this colony ship right now is I want to basically
planet for terraforming.
Terraform Heka here a little bit. This planet I basically didn't finish off. And I'm going to basically colonize it the next turn, so basically see the population what it basically does, and how you can basically sort of strategize around that a little bit.
Terraforming has been completed. External Affairs has a message for us.
Alright, Accident Sky offered me cooperation, so we'll accept that. So right now I basically have cooperation with the Lycians. I might be able to get cooperation with these guys as well, so we'll offer that to them as well. I'm tempted to gift this guy a little bit of money, but I think we're just going to trade with him for now to see if we can get that with him. Alright, so I want to look at basically over here in Heka, I basically just terraformed this planet again, and got fully terraformed. I'll note that basically whenever there's colonize a planet, basically in these systems, you can basically colonize them. And I'm just going to basically colonize this planet right here, and basically see what happens with my population, and how I can basically sort of benefit from basically colonizing the planets like I am right now with these ships.
Select a planet for terraforming.
I'll start getting this guy to start terraforming over here if he gets a chance to. So I offer cooperation, a trade agreement, they agree to cooperation, hooray. No problem, we get a nice morale bonus from the cooperation agreement, so that's nice. Alright, so note that here in Heka. I basically used my first colony ship to basically colonize this ocean planet, as well as the terrestrial planet down here. I didn't have the other colony ship basically go to this planet here, and note that I basically put all this population basically onto this planet right here. Also note, by the way, that I also have a population of over 7 right now. So basically here in Heka, if I want to race it right now, and I do, we're just gonna buy a space dock. And I'll basically use the space dock to help expand my range, basically to explore around a little bit with my scout ship. So that's just the entire thing I basically got to show off right there of what I just did there with my ship. Just gonna put this food right here for now.
External Affairs has a message for us.
Alright, actually we got basically trade these Zutrians there, so once I basically have 20 billion population on my other planets, we'll be able to trade with them. We also got cooperation with the Sevar. Now, no problem with the Sevar, by the way. They actually have a shipyard here because they're able to build docks, ships and stuff. So I'm actually able to explore around their sector a little better because I basically have cooperation with them.
Affirmative.
So cooperation, very useful to get with Mars if they have shipyards. And I know this guy has a shipyard because he has ships capable of being produced. So that's how I know we have a space dock. This guy. Now it's gonna be a while before I have the population in these sectors to get to 20 billion, but we'll get there soon. All right, over here in Heka. I just want to check out this guy's deuterium deposit and such. Yeah, we did a bit of deuterium right there. More deuterium down there. The tame is over there. We'll start getting to the term here, I guess, for now, because why not? It'll be useful. Now, I'll note that one of the reasons that, you want to watch out for, populating, these systems like I just did right now. You actually have to, get these population guys doing stuff, so... We're just gonna build a couple more, primitive organic factories basically here for Heka. They'll start getting the basic fabricators basically online over here. Referris, by the way, has built up its level 2 fabricator, so we're gonna get this basically upgrade right here. We'll build this, and we're gonna build our Imperial shipyard over here. Upgrade my titanium mine so I can basically get more titanium in the future. Upgrade a direction extractor so I basically can build starships. Upgrade my shipyard because I basically want to be able to build ships at decent rate. By the way, I'll note that basically in the Empire tab you can go to these other tabs down here for stuff. I'll note that if you go to the systems you can basically see what your basic systems are doing at a glance. And by the way, you can also double click on these basically jump to these sectors here if you want to jump into these systems and such. I used to come to this system screen here, or these systems overview to basically see if I miss basically having any of these systems not producing stuff. So whenever you see me jump into the Emperor Time systems, it's basically to check to see what these guys are doing for their production wise. at that given time. It's also important basically to check, like, you know, if my guys are starving, so I want to basically pay attention if, like, you know, guys are starving or not. Alright, that's fine for now. Let's leave that as is. I'll note, by the way, in the Empire screen tab as well, there's also like a military screen that basically gives you like an overview of like your ships. A stats screen which basically gives you an idea of, like, you know, how you basically rate against like the other empires for, like, you know, different, like, you know, attributes basically can be ranked on. Top 5 is basically for like the top 5, like, you know, star systems in the galaxy, and then victories are basically for the victory types that you're basically aiming for. You don't really care about these other 4 all that much as like these first 2, because the systems in the, like, the events tab basically where all the important stuff are basically at. So events basically corresponds to what happened during a turn, and systems is a way of like helping manage like your systems. So all basically, like, you know, important information from like these tabs basically be gleaned from here, so to speak. Alright, let's just get to getting like my shipyards basically online over here in Rafaris. 2 more turns first, gotta get the Murga. 1 more turn. Okay, so this is something to watch out for. Sometimes you'll see a random event like this basically happen where your planets may be like have like a climatic change. Usually it's a bad thing because you basically lose like population. So over here in the Borkum 3, this, like, you know, ocean planet here, they actually had a climate change basically prevented them from, like, you know, getting up to like the 3 billion they basically were like you know, the turn before. Basically, this guy used to be able to have, like, you know, an extra 3.12 billion basically for, like, you know, its maximum population over here, but now it's been dropped down to be, like, you know, instead of like 3 billion down to like 26.8 billion. So we lost like 4/5 basically of, like, you know, work basically potentially from like this sector now because of what happened right there. Alright, a Borkum basically built up its, like, you know, fabricators. Now, I'll note at this point, I really need to worry about food a little bit at this point because we're basically starting to run out a little bit, so we're going to basically put the organic replicators basically online here. And I'll basically upgrade the fabricators basically to get more food output. Note that in Rafaris, I basically built up the shipyards here. I need like 25 energy points basically to power them up, so we're just going to basically drop down our organics here, put it in gravitational turbines, and power it up. Note that this basically helps me build ships faster, so when I basically have an Imperial shipyard, we're able to, like, to build our ships a little bit faster, so if I want to build ships now, note that the colony ship, without any shields, I cannot build these basically in a turn, so we're just going to start pumping these out like crazy, to start colonizing the rest of, like, the galaxy, so to speak. There's Murga, by the way. A lot of direction basically in this world here.
Affirmative.
Alright, so on my agenda right now, I want to basically get like propulsion tech up to level 3 here. So I basically can expand up to like these other worlds out here. And other than that, I just want this guy to explore around like crazy. So here we go. Alright, so our first colony ship is left at Rafaris here. We're going to send this guy basically down to Nox, I think, to start like terraforming over here, so we'll get him down there. And our fabricator, or not fabricators, our organic replicator is basically done over here in Borkum, so note that we're basically making a lot more food basically here in Borkum, so that's useful. Now I'm trying to think if I want to basically like upgrade my fabricators a little bit more, or if I want to basically like aim for something else over here in Borkum. Now I want to know, by the way, I usually like to like build laboratories in my first sector I basically colonize, so I'm probably gonna build like 4 like basic laboratories right now I think over here in like a Borkum. So I'm just gonna leave like, you know, the set basically as is for now. I'm also thinking about like, you know, sending this guy over here to Sevar to basically help like terraform this like plan over here to get it out of the way, but I think I'll send this guy over to Sevar for now.
Affirmative.
We'll leave this guy basically to do his own thing for a little bit, and like, you know, we won't worry about him too much, so that's fine.
Affirmative.
Send this guy basically down in like a loop like this to basically see what we can basically find over here. Now, I want to know, by the way, it's not too important to basically terraform Sevar's worlds, or even Sevar's worlds at this point. But the faster I basically get these guys, like, you know, colonize these worlds here, the more these guys basically gonna like me, like, you know, friendship-wise. And that'll basically help with, like, you know, getting like alliances and stuff later down the road, so I'll basically get like better, like, you know, agreements with these guys down the road, so I basically want to make them as happy as possible right now. So, like, you know, get them basically like me more. So that's the plan right now with them. Make them happy with me. I should probably note that, basically in the grand scheme of things, the Retharians are, like, you know, the faction in this game that are really, really bad with, like, you know, miners. So anything you can basically do to make, like, you know, miners basically happy with you, to, like, try and get them, like, to join your empire early on is really important. So basically, like, you know, giving them money, terraforming their plants, trading with them as soon as possible. These are, like, all important things to do, basically, to get these, like, guys to join my empire if I get the chance to. So that's what I'm basically aiming to do right now with them. Alright, so note that I didn't produce a ship here from Referis. Note, by the way, you have to watch out for like your morale, because what basically happened here, I used to have enough morale basically for it to just be produced in one turn, but because we actually lost, like, you know, a little bit of morale, it actually lowered my production value. So actually, like, are only able to abilities, like, you know, every 2 turns now. So I'll basically, like, adjust this in a moment to, like, you know, industry output for Referis in a moment.
We have established contact with an alien culture.
By the way, my scouts just ran into a mine over here. So here's the Eileen over here. These guys have low corruptibility and are like productive and sneaky and are advanced. They have also have schools apparently, so nice morale. Alright, so over here in Referis, by the way, note that basically it's taking 2 turns to build these like colony ships up. Basically, I did have the industry before to like build these up with, like, you know, my morale, but at 100 morale, I basically need to have, like, you know, that much basically like being produced for like 28 fabricators for, like, you know, the production to be high enough in order like to build these, like, you know, these, like, you know, these ships basically up in like enough, like, you know, industry to basically get these out of like the, you know, the space dock in a turn. So that was a misstep on my part, but oh well.
Terraforming.
Affirmative.
We're gonna send this guy basically down in Knoxville to help with terraforming right there, I think.
Select a planet for terraforming.
I'll have this guy basically get to work basically helping Sevar out here over here. Not a whole lot basically terraform out here in Eileen, so that's not too great to see, but oh well. Here's Tabit over here. Oh wow, look at that. So this like system over here has a big energy bonus to it, so this would be a great system to build, like, you know, energy like defense structure basically in. Good to note. Alright, so Borkum. Now note that over here in Borkum, basically slowly getting his laboratories basically up. But that's like not the only thing I want to basically like be like thinking about over here in a Borkum. I also want to basically think about, like, you know, also having, like, you know, food and, like, you know, titanium basically boost over here, right? So right now we're just gonna basically boost up this guy's, like, you know, organic reputation a little bit to get a little more, like, you know, food going out of him. Get the basic laboratories basically going up here a little bit. And let's build a few more basic laboratories basically in the meantime, basically for this guy to do. Note, by the way, I dropped down his like industry output to be free, so he's gonna produce in 2 turns. This is actually okay to do right now because this guy doesn't have like all his population right now, so it's not like I'm basically using his population to, like, you know, do anything right now, so why not? Let's build up the laboratories like so. Alright, this guy here. I will note that we're actually getting to that point where I actually want to basically, like, you know, branch out my research to these other fields right over here, so What I'm gonna do with like propulsion there for now is probably just drop this down to like, you know, 50% for a moment. And I'll basically drop like the other like, you know, 25% each basically in computer tech and weapon tech, basically start getting these up to level 1. These ones right here. So we'll do that. And I guess this guy's over here is going to go over to Heka for now because I didn't actually finish like toleranting this like, you know, system here, so we'll send someone over there basically start doing some work.
Affirmative. And
we're just going to avoid like, you know, Borov over here, so he can just go around like that.
Terraforming has been completed.
Alright, so we terraformed the minor system of Sevar over here. So hopefully this guy's going to like me a little bit more. Now, ooh, that sucks, but oh well. I'm not by the way I use this colony ship over here to go over to like, you know, Alda Farah basically to see like, you know, what was basically in the system and possibly colonize it. Note this is like a good example of like a system that I may want to like employ basically like, you know, terraform because it's basically got like this like crappy genoactive planet that's like, you know, gonna take forever basically to colonize. I'm not by the way in this game, there is like, you know, some planets you might want to basically avoid like, you know, colonizing because they're gonna take too long. And it's like a good example like, you know, of a system where I could basically colonize this system, but it's just not going to be worth my time. So
Affirmative.
we're going to send this guy back to Heka basically to start getting to work over there. Now let's see here.
Affirmative.
I think I'm going to send this guy over here to Heka as well, so basically like, you know, basically get like, you know, a lot of terraform basically going on here in Heka for me.
Affirmative.
Let's send you right there. And for now, I'm going to send this ship down here to help with, like, you know, these guys in Nox.
Affirmative.
Alright, I'll look by the way here for Heka. These guys basically managed to get, like, you know, quite a bit of, like, you know, food up, and they got, like, you know, other stuff basically up. We're going to quickly build a titanium mine over here with these guys, so we'll do that with them. I still want to have, like, lots of titanium like, running around if I can, so we'll do so. Now, I would note that I basically set this to be like, you know, 8 colony ships basically for like, you know, starting out basically for like the, you know, Aquarius right here. Note that you want to build colony ships basically like, you know, based on like, you know, what you basically need to like, colonize at the given time because, basically down the road you will get like better colony ships basically colonize with. And, you know, you basically only have like, you know, so much like, you know, time basically to terraform stuff and stuff like that, but you also have to build like other stuff basically for like your home system sector as well. So if I'm feeling like basically doing affairs right here, I actually want to probably get some more scouts out of things. So we want to build some like, you know, more Praetorius like, you know, ships over here. And on the by I can actually like, you know, use like a lot of industry abilities basically up, so we're gonna make this guy have a little bit better shields, I think, and we're just gonna up his weapons a little bit. And the entire purpose for is basically doing that is just like this guy has a little more umph to him, he basically like meets something in combat, so we're just gonna basically build a couple scouts right now. This so I can have like these guys scouting around if I need to, so that's their plan right now, so they like, you know, help me scout around if I need to. And alright, let's just go to the next turn. Alright, so I built up the like, you know, titanium mine over here, and apparently they populate already, so that's fine. Let's get to work on one of the fabricators, I guess, over here right now, so we'll do that. And there's my scout over here, by the way, so hooray.
Affirmative.
We're gonna have this guy basically move over to, let's see here.
Affirmative.
Here for now. I'm actually gonna cause this guy to like, you know, cloak this time around, so we'll use our cloaking feature at this point. And I'll look by around turn 50. It's actually a good point to actually consider like, you know, cloaking all my vessels because if I basically run into like a major power at this point, I want these guys basically to avoid them, like, you know, not get destroyed. So we'll do that with them right now.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Yeah, it's fine. Basically terraforming over here for now, so let's get that out of the way. Alright, so, next turn.
Terraforming has been completed.
Alright, so we terraformed Sevar over here, so that world's been colonized, or not colonized, but terraformed.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Now, I should probably note, by the way, as like you terraform these, like, you know, minor worlds, they will actually start to populate them. So note that basically over here in Listia, I did actually like at one point basically like, you know, terraform like this ocean planet, but he's actually moved on basically to like, you know, colonize it. So he will slowly like, you know, jump over to like these other worlds basically to colonize them. These like, you know, these mires. So that's nice to see.
Affirmative.
This guy over here is gonna move over in this direction, I think. So
Affirmative.
move him over to maybe the Merg over here, perhaps. And you know what? Just for good measure, we're just gonna build an extra, like, you know, scout basically to move around with. So we'll do that with him.
Select a planet for terraforming.
At this point, let's just move these guys down here to, like, you know, quickly, like, you know, get Nox basically terraformed up and, like, running, so to speak. Still a little bit more to go, basically getting this up to 100%, but we're getting there slowly.
We have a new technology.
Ooh, look at that, we just got it. So, there's plasma injection. And because we basically have that now, I have a, like, you know, big board basically to get to, like, all these other planets now from my colony ship. So, hooray. Oh, here's, like, some, like, the airship, like, you know, planet space I'm running out here, too, and nice, a nice big M-world over here. Alright, so,
Affirmative.
you're gonna go right there.
Select a planet for terraforming.
And let's just see here. I'm probably gonna have one of these extra ships basically go elsewhere over here in a moment, but,
Affirmative.
oh, there's, like, a mile right there, so we're definitely gonna have one of these guys basically drop down in this direction, I think, at some point. Alright, so this guy over here is going to go avoid, and he's going to go cloak. And I think I'm going to get this guy move over here, I think.
Affirmative.
So, I'm not basically, like, in this game, I generally like to have, like, 4 scouts basically running around. Usually on, like, on the boards like this, like, you know, the boards in the map, I may be more inclined basically to have maybe only, like, you know, 3, like, you know, scouts, but we'll basically go for, like, the standard, like, you know, step where I have, like, 4 scouts basically run around to, like, you know, map out the galaxy and, like, you know, see what's basically happening on my borders, or, like, my sphere of influence, so to speak. Now, because obviously I found like all these like, you know, minor planets, we basically got fabricators to be online. Over here in Ferris, I definitely want to basically build more colony ships, so we're gonna basically get this you know, up and running again. And we don't really need to have any more basically like, you know, in like, you know, propulsion, so we'll basically boost these guys basically up to like, you know, both be like 100% at this point. So 50% in computer tech, 50% in weapon tech. We'll basically get these up and running real fast.
Select a planet for terraforming.
And apparently I forgot to, like, you know, terraform these guys over here.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Let's get them basically to do their job right now. I still want to basically, like, you know, colonize this planet, like, you know, these planets as fast as possible here in Heka, so we'll leave these, like, you know, for you guys basically help, like, you know, get this basically done over here. Same thing with Nox, by the way. I still want to get this, like, you know, colonize as well, so they'll basically get to work basically doing that over here, I guess.
We have established contact with an alien culture.
Alright, so there's the Asceti. Note that these guys basically, they, like, you know, have very high crop ability, and they also pretty much like me as well, so a very good chance basically getting these guys to like me right away. Still need to get more, like, population in these sectors over here to do stuff, but well, we'll get there slowly.
Affirmative.
Alright, at this point, this guy does have, like, a planet here to colonize, or terraform, so
Affirmative.
we're gonna send one of these guys basically down here to, like, you know, help, like, you know, to get this guy basically like me a little bit more by terraforming his planet. And we're gonna start sending these colony ships basically out and about, basically to start, like, you know, colonizing the world, so to speak. So
Affirmative.
we'll send one of these guys basically over to Borov and start getting work over there, I guess. By the way, over here is a system called, like, you know, Fiori. I'm pretty sure it's in our miner basically over here, so when we get, basically get a chance to, we'll have, like, in our miner basically, like, you know, interact with over here. Which makes me think I may want to, like, send this guy over here to, like, you know, Mesbra instead, so what I may do in Mesbra, by the way, I might actually, like, you know, go and, like, you know, try and terraform one of his planets a little bit up first. Probably just, like, H-Clan over here, and then we'll basically, like, you know, build, like, a space dock kind of like I did with Heck over here to, like, you know, get the Furor real quick. You can go to Borf, I guess. And we'll send this guy basically around like this to, like, you know, explore out like, the edges over here if he can. Alright, excellent. So, Peck has built up its fabricators. Now, I know that I'm very tempted to build like these organic replicators basically up over here and like, you know, Heka, but I think for now what we want to basically do over here in Heka, because it's going to be a big system. It does have a food bonus, this like sector, so it does like, you know, have less issues for food, but it does have a lot more population like, you know, than like, you know, a Vorkum basically ever did, so we're going to build up a few more primitive organic factories over here, and I think we'll build a few fabricators as well, so we'll get that out of the way. Just so I'm not wasting my, like, you know, precious resources here, we're just gonna, like, you know, move stuff around here a little bit. We'll get some basic laboratories basically going, we'll get some, like, you know, other stuff basically going. Let's do that for a little bit.
Affirmative.
Actually, this guy should go over to Gintaris at this point.
Affirmative.
I should be focusing on getting like this system underway because it's like, you know, a nice little branch basically to explore this way as well. So the two important main plans right now for like colonizing are this one right here and this one right here, because I basically can use them to like, you know, branch out really fast, like, you know, explore around. So really should be doing so. Alright, this guy over here, we're just gonna use him to terraform.
For terraforming.
Right there a little bit. Actually, no, if like only 4 terraform points, let's get this guy to like, you know, just
This system
colonize on the
will
first
be
turn.
colonized.
And we'll basically get like, you know, this like terrestrial planet basically under my like, you know, domain, so to speak.
We claim this system in the name of the Retharian Star Network.
So there we go, we got Mesbra on our side. We're just gonna quickly like build up like, you know, 4 primitive organic factories over here for a moment. Get a little bit of resource basically going on there for a little bit.
Affirmative.
We got a second ship basically go down here to Gintaris. Ooh, okay, so here's Brane. Alright, so Brane is basically a minor power bio in this game, and I'm gonna get to show you off something very interesting about this, like, you know, minor power here when I get to it. So, hooray! You get to see something interesting about these guys soon.
Affirmative.
I guess I was at some point basically like, you know, terraforming this planet over here, but I guess we stopped, so... Right, I basically had someone over here and moved with Mesbra, didn't I? That's what I did. Okay, that's fine. At some point I want to come back here to basically to terraform on this planet, but, you know, we have lots of basically to work basically for my colony ship, so... We have other things basically to focus on at the moment, so that's fine.
We have a new technology.
Hooray, we got access to titanium distribution facility. I'll explain what the distribution facilities are all about later on, but for now we're just like, you know, we'll skip them.
We have established contact with an alien culture.
And say hello to the Brane. Alright, so, this is our first example of a warlike race. These guys generally are generally like, you know, more hostile to like, you know, other like, you know, factions, so if you basically find them, they're very likely to declare war on you basically the next turn. Now this guy does have like a few pips basically in his like, you know, his like, you know, thing here, but he's probably still going to declare war on me. I'll note that this guy basically only has like, you know, 1 planet to like the terraform over here, which will take a while, but whatever, it's there. Now something to note about the Brane, by the way, is that these guys actually have like, you know, ships on them, so it is possible that if like he declares war on me, he will have like a hostile like, you know, ship that like, you know, will basically like, you know, be able to attack me. But something to note about the Mars is that they never actually send their ships basically outside of their like you know, their home sector, so unless actually like, go looking for trouble with this guy, we won't have to basically worry about him like, you know, attacking us. But very interesting, we've basically found Brane over here. And why not also send someone down here who can basically help with like, you know, getting stuff done.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Not sure if I skipped any turns to terraform asset over here, so let's get this guy to start getting work on like terraforming his planet over here. I'll note by the way, as like you go along, it'll get a lot more hard to like manage all your stuff in this game because there's actually like no like little like blips basically telling you like your like ships basically don't have any ores or something like that. So you always want to basically keep on top of like what you're basically doing in this game because you don't actually have like as many like quality of life features basically to help you out like keep you tabs on like everything that's going on. The game's not perfect basically for that sort of thing, unfortunately, but oh well, it is what it is.
We have a new technology.
Alright, so we got weapon tech based research there.
Our scientists have completed a research External project. Affairs has a message for us.
And there we go, our first war. Now, I want to know something about the reference, by the way. Something up with the reference is that they actually have like a very big like modifier to like when they have war declared on by like another faction. They actually get like this huge morale bonus of 5. So because the Brane declared war on us, we actually got this like nice little like +5 morale bonus from like them doing so. You abused our trust. This is unforgivable. Now you're our enemies. We are at war. No problem when like you have war declared on you. The marks basically like you will drop down all the way down to like 0 for like their like likeness of you. It is possible to get these guys to like me if I basically give them money or like terraform their plants, but I may like do that perhaps later on. But for now, I'm not going to worry about the Brane and like let's let them be for the most part. By the way, basically I have both these up to level 1 at this point, so I want to basically get these both up to level 2. These like technologies right here, but after that I'll basically like start to branch out from our stuff. By the way, I'm basically getting a computer tech and weapon type basically up to like level 2 each because I'll get access to something called let's see here where I find it. Would be in defense, just a wood. So there's basically this like this system of espionage in this game or intelligence, where you basically have like these like intelligence structures, and depending on like how much intelligence structure you basically have, the more intel points you basically generate from like these like structures. I basically want to get myself up to computer tech of 2 as well as weapon tech of 2, so I can basically build these structures up. So it'll be very important basically in the later like game to basically have these around. So that's what we're basically aiming for right now, technology wise. And I'll basically show these off when we get to them, but we're a little bit away from getting them, so that's fine. Alright, Heka. So Heka went over here and built up its like organic replicators. Now we're gonna build up just a few more like fabricators, I think. Nope, by the way, because like these guys have been like upgraded a little bit. It takes a little bit longer basically to like, build their fabricators, so I actually have to have like more points basically to like build up their fabricators now. That's what I know about like upgrading your structures. By the way, as like you upgrade these structures, they get more expensive to build. So I now need like 79 inch to basically build up these like structures here, as opposed to like say like in Mesmer where like these are like level 1 type of things. I need like 39 basically to build up stuff over here for these things over here. There's an reminder here over by the way to the Vians, so there's another like sector basically like get to when I get the chance to. Let's get me over here, so
Planet for terraforming.
We're just gonna quickly terraform this desert planet, and then we can like push on to like explore out here a little bit. So that'll be the plan. And just got me over here to Kantar, so
Select a planet for terraforming.
let's just quickly terraform this ocean planet. I'll basically show off something.
Affirmative.
Now, I want to note by the way, in Ferris by the way here, I can upgrade my laboratories. I'll note by the way when you basically like, are like, getting basically all your like technologies up. Note that basically with the laboratories, whenever like you get like a research point basically up for like these like technologies, you'll basically be able to up like your laboratory like research like level. So whenever like these guys get like up to like a point like in like research, it's always like good to basically like check out like if you can basically upgrade your laboratory for using. So we're just gonna upgrade our laboratories here in Ferris right now, and then I can like basically like get more research basically going for like the future.
Terraforming has been completed.
Alright, so this terraform can tar us over here. Now, I want to know something about these plants, by the way. You always want to be very careful about what plants basically you're like colonize in this game, because basically they may not have the resources you would basically want to, like, you know, to have like on hand when you basically colonize them. Note that when I basically, like, you know, terraform this ocean planet. If I basically colonize this planet now, I'd only have access to like one like resource basically for like, you know, generating for like this system, even though it has like, you know, access to titanium and like crystals and uranium. If I was basically to hit like this colonize button right now, what would basically happen? Actually, you know what? I'll just do like this right now. Let's do a quick little save here. And I'm just gonna like colonize like the planet right here. I'm not gonna like kind of like, you know, actually like, you know, return to a thing, but you know.
We claim this system.
Terraforming has been completed.
No, basically inherent guitars. I basically just like, you know, colonize this system, and as a result of it, we don't have any titanium mines. Something to note about this game, by the way, is that you want to be very careful, like, you know, when you colonize like these plants, because if you want to basically have like, you know, like titanium mines basically at the start, you need to have like plants colonized that actually have titanium. So if I just go back here, if I want to basically have like access to titanium is basically in guitars here, I'm going to need like the basically go after like a planet that has like titanium in it, like this, like, you know, Marshall World over here, or like this, like, you know, K-Cast plant, the adaptable plant over here. These ocean plants basically have like the terraform basically and like, you know, that's basically all I get from it, but basically, like, you know, colonize it right now.
Select a planet for terraforming.
So what I want to basically do right now,
Select a planet for terraforming.
we're just gonna get to work basically, like, you know, slowly, like, you know, terraforming is all the way up, so to speak. So let's get to it on that front, and let's go from there.
Select a planet for terraforming.
By the way, it's the same with like Borf over here, by the way. I want basically like aim basically to get like, you know, plants that have like, you know, titanium basically on, if I obviously have it, so basically terraform this world here, like terraform like the, like, you know, ocean world here, and then like colonize this system over here basically. That'll be the plan. Alright, so I built the, like, you know, laboratory basically up here in Rafaris. So at this point, let's just start building up some more colony ships. And let's just see here.
Affirmative.
No, I'm just gonna move my like ship over here, basically keep an eye on Brane here a little bit, because this guy will eventually start to pop up like, you know, ship bases to, like, you know, guard his sector. He doesn't have them now because I think he's got like very powerful ships to, like, you know, Brane, so it'll be a while before like these guys like pop out the really, like, you know, heavy like cruiser they have, or the heavy destroyer. And yeah, it looks like a hot dog, doesn't it? But whatever. These guys basically, like, you know, it'll be a while I think before we get the access to stuff, because they have, like, you know, pretty powerful ships, but they will eventually have, like, you know, these ships basically guarding their sector when I get the chance to. And alright, I think everything else is basically ready to go, so now, nobody who are in Borkin, by the way. We apparently have a trade would basically pop up for Borkin over here, so if I want to, I can now trade like some of these, like, you know, Mars based out here. Though I'm trying to decide if I want to deal with like the Zeptrins right now, or if like, I basically want to hold off and, like, you know, try and get the Asceti to like me here a little bit more. So right now, what I'm thinking basically is, like, you know, these guys are probably worth, like, you know, getting like the trade with 2 first before like these guys, because something about like your trade with Spacedock in this game. As I basically already said, like the first like episode, you can't take these basically off once you, like, you know, put them in effect. So if I basically, like, you know, put a trade with to Zaret, I can't like get a trade with down here to accept basically if, like, you know, decide like to change my mind later on. The thing about the Zyrarians over here is that they're basically, like, you know, basically in my field of influence, so to speak. And it's gonna be very hard for our empire to like grab them and, like, you know, turn them to their side. Well, I'm just, you know, I drink a water here, so bear with me. Basically, what I'm thinking right now, it'd probably be a good idea to try and, like, you know, get these guys to, like, you know, like me a little bit more. So let's try and offer this guy a trade here. I'm basically gonna sweeten the deal with a little bit of money here. And we're just gonna try and get this guy to, like, you know, get a trade with, so I basically start, like, you know, trading with him right with, like, you know, Borkin over here, perhaps. Will be the plan. And yes, I do have Heck over here. I could use him in the trade as well, but you know what? We're gonna do it like this, I guess. We'll basically trade with, like, you know, design runners with, like, Borkham here. And I will basically try to, like, get this guy basically to, like, you know, trade with, like, a study basically down here in a moment as well, but, you know. Here's the thing, basically. You want to basically, you know, keep in mind, like, you know, it is, like, you know, very possible that, like, you know, an empire can sweep around, like, you know, grab these guys from my nose, so to speak, so. I basically want to, like, you know, get these guys to get trade with as fast as possible, so to speak, when I get the chance to. So that's the plan, basically. Get these guys to trade me really fast. I want to get them under my thumb. All right, so in return,
Terraforming has been completed.
yeah, note to basically transfer the money to them. Those guys. By the way, a cute little tip basically to give you guys. If you ever see, like, you know, a system with, like, you know, ships in it, and you're not sure if it's a mire or, like, you know, it's an empire, always check out and see if, like, it's basically got them separate like this. Something I know about, like, the mire systems is they don't actually gather up their ships basically to, like, be like a single fleet, like, you know, this, for example. Like, basically, like, you know, go like this, like, you know, they're gathered up in, like, a fleet of 2. Mars will never do that, and if you ever see, like, you know, a system of, like, you know, ships in it, if you see them gather like that, it means, like, there's an empire around. So this is the mire over here, but if I basically ever see, like, you know, a question mark like 2 on it, or like 3 or some other number, it means that there's basically an empire basically in that sector at that point. Alright, so we basically went over here and, like, you know, terraform Nox here.
Select a planet for terraforming.
I think over here in Nox, by the way, we're just gonna, like, you know, try and, like, you know,
planet for
terraform the system outright right away. So we'll basically get these guys basically to work, like, you know, getting the rest of the planets basically done. And by the way, we got basically Heka over here done, so we'll get these guys basically to work on the next system.
Terraforming. Select a planet for terraforming. Select a planet for terraforming.
It's gonna take a little bit to basically get these other systems basically, like, you know, done, but, you know, it'll be worth it in the long run basically to get, like, you know, Heka basically all the way terraform if I can, so we'll do so. Now at this point, I think we're gonna send someone over to Giant Force, so we get this guy over here, I think. And
select a planet for terraform.
We'll get someone basically start, like, you know, terraforming, like, you know, Kentaurus 5 over here if I get the chance to. Over here in Mesro, we basically build up our, like, you know, our fabricators, so that's great. I still want to build a spacedock here, but I guess we'll just build a fabricator first for now. No problem, this guy's population is going up pretty fast, so I'm actually just, like, you know, not barbling, like, you know, terraforming this planet right away, because if he's basically gonna hit, like, you know, 7 billion population really fast anyways, I'm gonna, like, you know, just, like, go after, like, the air plant space here first a little bit, so we'll see how fast this guy's gonna grow. No problem, like, you know, these, like, plants all have, like, different growth rates on them, so this actually has a growth rate of 5.6 as opposed to, like, some of these air plants that have, like, you know, 1.3 or, like, you know, 1.63 or, you know, less. There's, like, a decent plant. Pay attention to, like, these growth rates, because if they grow really fast, these systems, you're basically gonna have, like, lots of population really fast anyways. So that's something to know about Kentaurus over here as well. This, like, ocean planet has, like, you know, a growth of, like, 2. The Martian has, like, a growth of 3. This one has, like, a 3.5 over here. And these air plants are gonna be, like, you know, slow as molasses, so to speak, or this one is gonna be at least. So we got basic fabricator popping out right there. Alright, a Borkham. So these guys basically built up their, like, laboratories. Now, I want to know, by the way, of, like, you know, your organic replicators. As a rule of thumb, basically I used to go for, like, you know, building replicators in this game. I always like to divide, like, you know, max population by 2. So 26 divided by 2 would be, like, you know, 13. And then from that, I basically, like, you know, like to have, like, you know, a certain amount of, like, organic replicators. So I probably want to build, like, you know, a few more, like, you know, organic replicators over here in the Borkham, just to, like, you know, make sure this guy doesn't have, like, you know, food issues in the future. So let's just get these out of the way here, I think. And let's do that for now.
Terraforming has been completed.
Alright, so terraforming Kentaurus is basically done over here, so that's great. Now, I want to actually show off a cute trickery so like with like colonization, by the way. Note that right now, basically, like, we're basically terraforming this planet right here, and basically, it's like, got one turn basically to be terraformed.
This system will be colonized.
We're gonna have this guy basically start to colonize this sector here, and we're just gonna see like if basically this like world basically becomes like colonized, or if it's basically gonna be like terraformed next turn.
Select a planet for terraforming. Select a planet for terraforming.
And we're just gonna take these other guys to like
Select a planet for terraforming.
get to work on these other planets here a little bit. You can go down here to this sector. I could build up this fabricator, so great. I'll note that over here we always want to get ourselves the organic fabricator at this point, so we'll aim for that right now. And I probably have to build this in like 2 turns, so. Alright, so let's do it like that for now with Heka.
We claim this system in the name of the Retharian Star Network.
Terraforming has been completed.
Alright, so we basically just terraformed Kentaurus over here. Note by the way that like we didn't actually colonize this planet over here because it wasn't terraformed the last turn. Now, I want to note that sometimes like this isn't the case. Sometimes you'll actually terraform like the planet and like if you're colonizing it like that same term, it'll actually like be colonized. So it's basically like sometimes hit or miss basically if like obviously have these like terraform or not. So just keep that in mind.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Anyhow, at this point we're just gonna have these guys basically all focused on the same planet here.
Select a planet for terraforming.
I want basically like get like up basically to like 7 billion real fast so like get space dock over here I think. So that's what I might want to aim to do for these guys a little bit. And let's have this guy basically go over to here. Yeah, note by the way in Mesra we basically like terraform this planet over here. But we're actually getting so much population for like Mespera. I think what we're gonna do with like Mespera here, we're just gonna leave him alone and just let the system basically
Select a planet for terraforming.
naturally get up to 7 billion by itself. I think so. I was gonna basically like terraform a planet like quickly colonize it, but it's growing so fast I don't think that's really like needed. So we're just gonna hold off in doing so. Yeah, it's a good plan to terraform. Note by the way, you want to be like pay attention to like what you're basically colonizing here in this game because these are like all cake sized planets, but they like all have like different numbers so to terraform, and that may not like correspond to like the max population itself, but like this is how difficult it is to terraform those planets. If I was basically to terraform this planet here, but note by the way, it basically like 14 points, and we'll get like 12 billion people. This one here, which is like one point less, it'll give us a lot less people. So you want to pay a big like attention to like how much basically you're gonna get from like terraforming these planets. And I think like this would be a good planet to terraform because we get like a lot more population doing so. But here's the other things to note by as well. If I was basically to terraform this planet, for example, we get access to Terrestrium. If I was to terraform this planet over here, we get access to a 50% like Draining bonus. So you want to basically pay attention to like everything you're basically terraforming in this game, so to speak.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Though I think for like Mesmer right now, we're gonna aim for this planet right here because I think we'll get the director basically online as fast as possible for his sector, I think. Alright, so since I basically like keep like producing stuff over here in like Mespera, let's just quickly build like a few more fabricators I think, so let's get this online for now. And over in Kentaurus, which is like are gonna get like underway like building a space dock soon. We're just gonna like build up our primitive organic factors for a little bit and like we'll move on to like the next thing after that, so to speak. So we'll do that with them.
Terraforming has been completed.
Alright, Nox has basically been terraformed over here a little bit, so
Select a planet for terraforming.
we'll basically get them both to team up and is like, you know, Emerald, the reducing one, and like get out of the way. Almost there to 20 billion, but not quite yet. Alright, there we go, we can basically get this done, like, you know, in a few turns, the fabricators, so let's get these out on their way. And abort them! And yeah, note that, by the way, we have like so many, like, you know, organic records basically online, but we're like, you know, this like only like this closely to meet up like our food, like crime stuff up here a little bit. So, you know, he's still got like 3 billion population there, but we probably don't need this many, like, you know, replicators, but we're pretty damn close space where we need to, like, get, you know, completely like feed this guy basically up. And let's just see here. I want to build up this guy's, like, you know, replicators a little bit here, so maybe let's do like that for now. This guy's replicators basically built a little bit faster. Alright, this guy made over here a giant fire, so
Select a planet for terraforming.
he can get to work basically, like, you know, going after these planets here. They'll basically have this done in a turn, I think.
Affirmative.
I think I'll send a second guy over here to, like, you know, isolate this for a moment and, like, you know, start sending people back over here in this direction to giant fire soon. Now, on the bottom, because this guy's so close to being, like, you know, 20 billion population, I didn't give this guy money, right? Well, whatever. Let's just offer this guy a quick trade, I think, here, to, like, you know, try and get him, like, to, like, you know, get a trade agreement with him. I'll see how that basically goes.
Terraforming has been completed.
So, I know basically, like, to offer this guy a trade agreement before it's basically, like, you know, at, like, you know, cooperative, like, you know, status. Note because I basically offer this guy a little bit of money basically on top of, like, you know, the, like, you know, offer. It's very possible he may, like, accept it because, like, you know, you're basically giving him a gift and, like, a trade agreement at the same time. That's basically one way of, like, you know, trying to, like, get, like, you know, agreements with people. Is just, you know, offer them money with, like, the agreement as well.
This system will be colonized. Select a planet for terraforming.
We'll see how this basically goes.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Send these guys basically start getting work based on this planet here. This guy made up here, so
Select a planet for terraforming.
yeah, no, by the way, like, this guy's got like 9 billion points to terraform, but these other sectors basically have, like, you know, bonuses I may want to go after as well. Like an energy bonus in this one right here, for example. And yeah, this guy will hit like 7 billion population pretty fast, so I'm not really worried about him, like, you know, in all honesty, basically.
We have a new technology.
Ah, we just got ourselves computer tech level 2. There's tech for command, which is very interesting to basically show off.
Terraforming has been completed. External Affairs has a message for us.
And yeah, note because, like, you know, we gave this guy money, he basically decided to accept this agreement with us, so note that he's basically friendly to us. And you know what? Let's just offer this guy a friendship agreement now, I guess, as well, because maybe we can get that too. I'll offer us a friendship agreement to this guy. Yeah, note that these guys, our guys are getting devoted at this point, so we're starting to make some friends, so to speak, real fast.
Select a planet for terraforming.
Let's get these guys working on that right now.
Select a planet for terraforming.
I'm trying to terraform this, like, you know, colonize this planet right now, but I think right now we're just gonna get this guy, like, to you know, let's get to work basically, you know, terraforming this up as fast as possible. So let's do that with them. Alright, I think all my ships basically are moving as they need to. Now, no by the way in Qatar's by the way, we basically like, you know, have enough to basically build like, you know, space dock, so we're just gonna build a space dock right here for a turn. And by the way, because I basically got computer tech basically up to like, you know, level 2 up here, we're just gonna drop this down over here and lock it. And lock this. Now, I want to, by the way, at this point, I want to like, you know, get like, you know, these technologies up to level 2 at this point. So, we're just gonna go like this for a moment. And by the way, I also have like the special space over here I have to watch out for as well. No, by the way, when I basically hit like, you know, level 1 and like, you know, all these technologies, I actually got access to like a special resource over here. For now, I'm just gonna go over and like, you know, boost up maybe like, you know, finances, I think. So, we'll do that basically over here. I'll explain like special research basically in the future a little bit, but for now we're just gonna like, you know, ignore it. So we're just gonna lock this here for now. And I'm basically gonna just drop like this down here to like, you know, 30%, and basically split my like, you know, difference between like, you know, these two technology over here, I think. So basically at this point we basically have like, you know, access to like, you know, computer 2. I want to basically get like these all up to level 2 at this point, so I can basically like, you know, show off what basically happens to level 2 and like, you know, go from there. And by the way, there's like tech or command over here. We're just gonna, you know, quickly just pop this out for a turn and like, you know, get out of the way.
Affirmative.
You can go right there. And by the way, this guy got a trade over here pop up, so there we go, we're trading with Heck over, Heck to like Osetta right there, so hooray.
Terraforming has been completed.
Yeah, I offer friendship agreements to those guys as well. Alright, nice, so Heck has basically only got like one more planet to basically terraform over here, so we're gonna get underway with that.
Select a planet for terraforming. Select a planet for terraforming. Select a planet for terraforming.
Let's get that underway. We still have a way to turn for this guy to get over here, I guess, so that's fine. Nobody over here in, like, you know, this part of the area. I can now, like, access this area because basically, like, you know, we, like, you know, had access to, like, you know, our space dock here now, so
Affirmative.
we're gonna say hi to, like, this Mars, like, ships over there in a moment.
Affirmative.
While we're at, we'll send this guy basically down here to explore this way a little bit, and let's go from there. I got both these guys terraforming, I think, over here, so that's fine. In Qatar, so I'm gonna basically set these guys basically up to, like, you know, keep, like, you know, blowing up stuff, so we'll just get this basically underway for now. And note that in like refers I have an energy shortage. Now I want to like, you know, one last thing before like, you know, leave basically for like this episode, because we're getting to like close to that point where like, you know, it's the end of like this episode. No one want to be very careful like this Tycro command. This is a very powerful blueprint that refers basically get access to basically increase their security bonus, but it comes at a cost where I basically like, you know, have a imbalance to like their industry bonus. I can turn this basically on if I want to, but it's basically gonna hurt my industry output. So to show that off, basically right now I'm basically producing like, you know, 580 here. And if I basically turn it on, I'm going to drop my like industry down to like, you know, 442. So you want to be very careful like, you know, with the structure here, because this is like a good example like, you know, of a structure I want to be very careful of, because it, you know, it does have benefits to it, but it's also got a big malice to it as well, so you want to watch out for it as well. So yeah, be careful like, you know, some structures in this game, obviously. Alright, we're just going to keep building up our colony ships, of course, so let's keep that going on right for now. And, alright, that's going to be it for, like, this episode. I'll note that in the next episode, we'll basically cover, like, you know, running into, like, sectors like Mars, like, ships and stuff like that, I guess. And, like, you know, that'll be fun. But, until, like, next episode, take care, I guess. For now. See you soon.